Hello, I will present the Kai paper titled Tracking During Ramadan, Examining the Intersection of Menstrual and Religious Tracking Practices Among Muslim Women in the US. This paper is co-authored by Zaidat Ibrahim, Dr. Novia Nurain, and Dr. James Clawson at the Lodi School of Informatics, Computing and Engineering at Indiana University, Bloomington. I invite you to check out the prior research leading up to this current paper and presentation. The paper is titled, Islamically, I Am No Longer on My Period, a study of menstrual tracking in Muslim women in the US, which is also presented at Kai this year. With this current study, our goal is to answer two follow-up questions from our prior investigation into menstrual tracking practices of Muslim individuals. Our first research question was, what are the menstruating Muslims' health and religious goals and tracking practices during Ramadan? Our second question was, how do menstruating Muslims engage with tracking technologies to support their goals, and what challenges do they encounter in their tracking experiences? To approach answering our research questions, we employed the following methods. We distributed pre-intake questionnaires, which also served as recruitment instrument. We conducted 20-minute onboarding call via Zoom, which allowed researchers to establish rapport and build trust with participants. We then conducted a month-long diary study, more on this in a bit. We analyzed the data from the diary study, then used the participant responses in their diary to elicit more details by creating participant-specific probing questions for our semi-structured interviews. Our month-long diary study comprised of daily logs and reflection logs. Participants completed daily logs, 5 daily logs 1 through 5, then they completed the first reflection log that asked reflective questions on their first 5 daily log entries. The reflection logs prompted participants to reflect on their tracking motivations, how the Ramadan experience influenced what they track, with whom they discuss their religious tracking practices, and how menstruation influenced their tracking patterns during the month of Ramadan. And then participants repeated the process for daily logs 6 through 10 and concluded the diary study with a final reflection log. We engaged with 9 participants throughout the study. From each participant, we collected a total of 12 diary entries, 10 daily logs, and 2 reflection logs. From the 9 participants who completed the study, we collected 90 daily logs and 10 reflection logs, cumulatively resulting in 108 diary entries, which we qualitatively analyzed. For context, the diary portion of the study took place during Ramadan in 2023, which was March 22nd through April 21st, 2023. Ramadan is a month of fasting for Muslims around the world. Individuals observing Ramadan fast from dawn through sunset. During the fasting hours, individuals abstain from consuming food or water and engaging in sexual intercourse. Ramadan typically lasts 29 or 30 days, depending on the lunar calendar. Certain groups are temporarily exempted from fasting, for example, menstruating, pregnant, and nursing individuals, as well as travelers. However, these individuals have a lifetime obligation to make up missed fasting days. The month of Ramadan emphasizes spiritual, individual, and social aspects. Our findings are organized around 3 themes: tracking motives, socially crafted religious practices, and tensions around tracking practices. For religious tracking motives, participants track to support reflection on religious obligations. For example, participant 1 said, I track my prayers at the end of each day. There are 5 prayers in a day, and I am not good with praying 5 times a day. So at the end of the day, I ask myself, okay, which prayers did I do? And then which ones did I miss? So that I know, okay, those are the ones that I will need to make up, and I need to be better about doing those. Tracking for health motives, participant 5 highlights the following. I use the period tracker app because I know my period days, which are also my missed fasting days. My period is getting kind of funky. Some days I'll think I'm not done with my period, And that did happen this year. I was fasting and I thought my period was not done. And then it turned out, no, I was not. Particularly during Ramadan, participants experienced tensions in managing goals that seemingly conflicted with each other. For example, participant 9 highlighted that she struggled with managing exercise and fasting combined. She, however, found a temporary solution, stating, "The iPhone also has a paid fitness app called Evolve You. I bought this app for $100 for a yearly subscription, but have only recently been using it. I found a Muslim instructor and fitness plan within the app when I typed in Ramadan. The workouts have been shorter and doable while fasting." Participants emphasized the challenge of building and maintaining long-term tracking goals. For example, participant 6 highlights wanting to maintain tracking goals that were driven by religious motives. She saw Ramadan as the starting point for building upon goals from previous years. In her statement, she said, "So every year I try to think of one thing I can do spiritually. So one of the things that's always been nagging me is I've never really had a relationship, like a really strong relationship with the Quran. I'd like to build a relationship. I probably will set another goal on top of that. Maintaining this is great, but how do I go beyond what I just did this year? How do I make it even better?" For more details on each aspect of our findings, please read our paper. Now to our discussions in the paper. In our discussion, we engaged with the following question based on our findings of tracking practices in Ramadan. How do we design culturally responsive and religiously inclusive self-tracking technologies that support both health and religious well-being? We highlight 2 proposals. First, we propose that designers of health tracking technologies provide the ability for users to customize the items that they choose to track. Customizable trackers enables users to adapt the trackers to meet them where they are in their religious or health journeys. Secondly, we also encourage designers and researchers to collaborate closely with religious stakeholders to elevate the views and voices of those not currently considered in the design of health tracking technologies. We also provide design recommendations. First, we highlight leveraging and drawing upon Islamic concepts in design, for example, using Islamic concepts of reflection and introspection for design. Secondly, we discussed designing long-term tracking experiences. And finally, we touched on the educational support needs to help in navigating some of the tensions our participants experienced. To conclude, I would like to remind you of our key takeaways from the study. First, we contribute proposals for extending personal informatics for new domains beyond conventional self-tracking for health and wellness to include religious well-being. Secondly, we contribute opportunities for designing self-trackers that are inclusive of religious wellness. Thank you for listening to our presentation. If you have any questions, please reach out and connect with us. Thank you.